Arsenal Football Club, a team with incredible history that have featured some of the greatest players to ever grace the Premier League. No team has won the FA Cup more times than the Gunners, and no team has ever been invincible in the Premier League era like Arsenal were back in 2003-2004. However, since then, Arsenal have not won the Premier League, and there's now growing unrest between the fans over what direction the club is heading in, and many people believe that the team needs major change to be competitive in the league and Europe once again. So with the club now in a period of uncertainty, now is the perfect time to do the full Arsenal career mode story. And I'd also like to say as well, if you guys are new to the channel, then make sure you click the subscribe button. I upload daily FIFA career mode videos, so stick around, become part of the family, and click that subscribe button. Alright, so as we enter the career mode, we're going to take a look at the squad, the upcoming expectations for the season, and the budget as well. And we'll start off with the transfer budget, where as you can see, it's £80 million, or around £80 million. And that's a decent starting budget to begin with. Obviously not quite as much as some teams in the Premier League, but £80 million, that's a lot of money. We can definitely improve the squad with that amount of cash. But as for the expectations, I must say this is quite tough. We've got to finish in the top 4, which Arsenal failed to do last season, win the FA Cup, which Arsenal did do last season, but also win the Europa League as well. So they're after the FA Cup, the Europa League, and also a top 4 finish. That's pretty tough aims from the board there. But as we take a look at the team, there is definitely no reason why we couldn't pick up some form of silverware this season. Arsenal line up in a 4-3-3. This is the best selection based on rating alone. The first 11 is good, it's strong, the bench isn't bad either, and there's a couple of decent young talents in the resis as well, but definitely for sure we do need to improve this team heading into the season, and defense is my main concern. That's the area Arsenal fans have been least impressed with in terms of new recruits over the years, so I want to improve the defense, definitely a new centre-back, possibly a new left-back, and I wouldn't mind a strong new defensive midfielder as well to protect the back line. Those are my aims heading into the transfer window. So I've identified my number 1 target for Arsenal in the summer transfer window, and it's the Dutch centre-half Stefan de Vrij. Playing for Lazio right now, the 25-year-old is valued at £30.5 million, and with his contract up next summer, we might not have to pay an extortionate amount of money to bring him in. 84 rated with some really good stats, a 4-star weak foot, medium-high work rate, he reads the game very well, technically quite comfortable on the ball, and I think he'd be the perfect addition to our Arsenal back line. Let's bring him in. So we're going to start off with the initial valuation bid, as I always do, 30.5 mil, but I'd imagine we're paying around 45 to 50 million for him. No! Instead, Lazio say 39.5 mil, plus a 5% sell-on clause will be fine. Well, that is a lot cheaper than I was thinking, and to be honest, I might just accept that off the bat. We still have £40 million of our budget remaining. We could possibly get him a little bit cheaper, try and get it down to, let's say, £36.5 million. Every penny's going to count, and Lazio say that's a fair offer. What a great way to start the summer transfer window. £36.5 million for De Vrij? That's a brilliant little deal. So as we head into the contract negotiations, I'm going to try and tie De Vrij down for a 5-year deal, which the agent is totally fine with. At 25 years old, he could still get better. They don't want a release clause, neither do I. And as for the salary, they want 96 grand a week, so it's a big wage increase of 31 grand a week extra, plus 2 big bulky bonuses. We will remove the clean sheet bonus of 2.5 mil after 15 clean sheets, submit that offer there. They're going to ask for an extra 4 grand a week, but to me, that's an absolute steal. De Vrij for 36.5 mil on a 100 grand a week salary with a 1.4 mil sign-on bonus on a 5-year deal with no release clause. What a way to start the summer transfer window off with Arsenal. A fantastic steal as the Dutch centre-half becomes our first signing to the Emirates Stadium. Welcome to Arsenal Football Club, Stefan de Vrij. He was my number 1 target, and I'm so glad we got him in straight away for a relatively cheap fee. The question is, who does he replace in the first 11? Is it Laurent Koscielny, the captain, now 31 years old and in the twilight of his career, or is it Mustafi, the younger German but 1 rating lower? I think for the time being we'll keep Laurent out there. De Vrij will fill in alongside him as Mustafi drops to the bench, but what a signing that is, an absolute steal. 36.5 mil, a complete bargain for a great defender. And as you take a look at our budget, we still got half it remaining after the signing right there. So, well, I said I wanted some new signings as well as the centre-back. I said I wanted a new left-back, a new defensive midfielder as well. We still got a lot of cash remaining. Let's bring some more players in. So I said I wanted a new left-back here at the Emirates Stadium, and there's 2 really good ones here on my shortlist. Alejandro Grimaldo of Benfica, the young Spaniard, 21 years old, valued at 15.5 million and already 80 rated. Very quick, technically not bad either, but the one I'd really want is this guy right here. Alex Telles from Porto, 24 years old, 82 rated, and seems a little bit better right now with some fantastic physical stats and some amazing technicals as well. I think Alex is going to be a little bit too pricey. We'll put the bid in for him first and see what Porto want. Don't forget that I also want to sign a new defensive midfielder as well. So whilst we could possibly afford Alex with the budget we got right now, he'd probably take up our remaining transfer budget. So if we can get him for around £30 million, I'll take it. Anything over that, I think we'll walk away. And Porto is saying 37.8 million after our initial bid. A little bit too high, lads, a little bit too high. So duck that down if you can. We'll go to £25 million, but I highly doubt this deal's going to come off. Nah, they're sticking to the price tag, Okay, one final bid here. Like I said, I wouldn't be against a £30 million deal for him, plus that 5% sell-on clause I'm not fussed about. If they accept it, we'll call it good, but instead they're saying no, they'll think about it, but I don't think this is coming off. Forget it, we'll go after Grimaldo. So we're going to start off with the initial valuation bid for Grimaldo, as always, and see what Benfica say to this, and they're saying no, £27.1 million, which is... well, it's not a bad deal, but at 80 rated, I'm hoping I can get that down a little bit. So let's try and reduce that fee to, let's go 22.5 million plus the 5% sell-on clause and see what they say to that. They're saying 26 mil, to be fair, isn't that bad? Let's do one more offer here, try and get it down just a little bit to £24 million plus the 5% sell-on clause. If they accept that, I'll definitely have him. And that's what they're going to accept. £24 million plus a 5% sell-on clause for a young, talented left-back like Grimaldo. That's not too bad of a deal, that. Only 21 years old, but already 80 rated. Definitely has a lot of potential with this kid. And if we can tie him down on a 5-year deal, which is what the agent's asking for as well, that'll be perfect. And I really like the idea of Grimaldo and Bellerin as our two fullbacks. Two young Spanish talents, really quick and very threatening when going forward. So let's offer him a contract. The only problem is he's on really cheap wages right now, so I don't know how much he's going to be asking for. We'll start off with what he's on right now, £10.5 a week, but he's definitely going to want a wage increase, no question, surely. Oh my goodness, just a £12 a week? Just a £12 a week? Are you serious, Alejandro? You just want to come to London. You just want to play at the Emirates Stadium. Well, we'll remove that appearance bonus, which might get the wages up a little bit, but hey, £13.5 a week, an absolute bargain. 24 million and basically nothing on a 5-year deal. Alejandro Grimaldo, you are my sort of player. Not worried about the cash, just want to play football. Grimaldo, welcome to Arsenal Football Club. What an absolute bargain that contract is. The transfer fee might have been quite steep for the 21-year-old, but you can't find a fault with that contract. Just £13.5 a week on a 5-year deal. What a steal for Arsenal as a young, talented left-back arrives at the Emirates Stadium. Question is, does he go in the first 11 straight away and take Kolasinac's place, or does he settle for a bench role to begin with, and do we ease him in gradually? Well, I like him a lot, he's got great potential, and I think I'm going to throw him straight in. Grimaldo going to be our first choice left back this season, with Bellerin on the right, and 2 new additions to our back four straight away. That's what I'm talking about. And as our budget has now been reduced quite a bit after those 2 signings, I think what we'll do now is advance a few days in the calendar and then wait to sell some players before we sign some new ones. So there's still cash left over, but I think now it's time to sell a few deadwood players and then look to make new signings. 2 in already though, and I couldn't be happy with the start we made in the summer transfer window. So our first transfer offer comes from Dortmund, and it's for the BFG. Dortmund want to take Per Mertesacker to Germany for 7.7 million, and with the giant centre-half out of contract in the summer, that may be under the valuation, but to be honest, I might just accept it. He's not going to get a new deal, he's 32 years old, he's only going to get worse. I'll take the cash. Thanks for your service, Per, we love you a lot, but it's time for you to move on. Don't forget, he's on a really high contract as well, so totally fine reducing the wage bill to sell Mertesacker, but a bid here for Bellerin. Leicester want to take him? Absolutely no way. Hector stays with us. And as we wait for the confirmation that Mertesacker is going to leave, there's also a bid here for Nacho Monreal. West Ham want to take the Spaniard for 11.2 mil. Of course, centre-back, left-back, list of positions, a really decent player. Now 31 years old. I rate Nacho a lot. I'm not against letting the guy go though, and reducing the wage bill here is definitely a really key thing for us. So do we sell him or do we keep him? I'm not too sure. I'll think about that for now and decide later. Restructuring the wage bill is going to be really crucial for Arsenal, as Per Mertesacker does get sold there to Dortmund for 7.7 mil and the BFG is off. Also with the Huddart, we're going to accept this one as well. Oh, Monreal, I really like him. I really do. But do we sell him or do we keep him? I'm just not sure. I might possibly negotiate, try and get a bit more cash. If we can get up to around 14 million, I'd probably take that. Don't forget, with Chambers here, with Holding here, and with Grimaldo here as well, we've got enough depth, both in the CB and the left-back role. So Monreal, as much as we like him, now in his 30s, only going to get worse. I'm not against letting him go. We'll ask £15 million for David Moyes straight away, and they are going to say, yeah, £15 million for Monreal. That's a decent deal. I like Nacho a lot. I think he's really underrated, but I'll take £15 million for him, no question. These are players that we really like, but if we are to transition this Arsenal team, make it a younger one, make it a better one, and make it a more competitive one, we got to start thinking about the future. Thanks for your service, Nacho. Enjoy your time at West Ham, but Monreal is off, and I've got to say, for £15 million, very happy with that sale, and that's going to bump our budget up now after the sales of Mertesacker on Monreal to £38 million, and of course the wage budget alteration as well, selling two players on high contracts, close to £100,000 a week. This is what we need to do. Restructure the wage bill, get rid of the Deadwood players, and start bringing in younger faces for the future. So now we got that cash, it's time to make our third signing, and it does come in the defensive midfield position like I was targeting. There's only one target on my shortlist, he's the one I really want. It's Danilo Pereira of Porto that can play central defensive midfield, centre back and centre mid as well. 25 years old, valued at 24 million, and like Grimaldo on really low wages, with medium high work rates being 6'2" and defensively very good with 87 stamina and 89 strength. This is the perfect guy to protect our back four. Danilo Pereira, I want you, I'm going to get you. Now I'd imagine that Porto are going to be asking for around 35 to 40 million for Pereira, and considering his low wages, we can't afford that, but that'll be all of our money gone. So what we'll do is we'll start with a valuation bid to begin with, and just hope they'll be asking for around 32 to 35 million pounds in response. And there we go, 34.5 million, which is over the valuation by 10.5 mil, but that's not bad at all. 10% sell-on clause, we can definitely live with that. We'll try and get it down a little bit cheaper if we can to, let's go 30 million pounds plus the 10% sell-on clause, but I'm fine if they're not going to budge on 34.5 mil. They're not, so do you know what? Your price of Pereira is set, and I'm fine meeting it. 34.5 mil plus 10% sell-on clause. Yeah, it's a lot of money for him, but I think it'll be worth it. I want you, Danilo Pereira. You're my number one target. You're my sole target, so I'm going to make sure you become part of this Arsenal squad. Important squad role. Hopefully tie him down on that 5-year deal like Grimaldo and Vrij, and that's exactly what we've done. No release clause, and as for the salary, I'm really hopeful that like with Grimaldo, he won't be asking for much of a wage increase. So on 16.5k a week right now, we'll start off with that, and we'll wait and see what Danilo Pereira says. Oh, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. 18 grand a week plus 2 bonuses we can definitely afford. I love the fact these players don't want the cash. They just want to play football for Arsenal. That's the sort of mentality we need back at this football club. Let's remove that appearance bonus there, submit that second offer. They're going to up it to 19.5k a week, which is absolutely nothing in today's footballing world. 19.5 grand a week for Danilo Pereira, and like with Grimaldo, the transfer fee might be quite steep. We can afford it. The contract is steal. So Danilo Pereira, my number one target for the defensive midfield role, welcome to Arsenal Football Club. I'm hopeful that this guy is going to become the new Patrick Vieira. He's got some absolutely fantastic stats. Physically, he's a bit of a monster. Reads the game very well with high aggression, 87 stamina, 89 strength. Got to love that. Technically, really good as well. And with those medium-high work rates and being 6'2", yeah, he's got Vieira's old number, that number 4, and he'll slide into that DM position. We'll put Cazorla on the bench, push Xhaka a little bit further forward. He's going to protect the back 4, exactly what we needed, and this is what we had to do. Improve our defense, and Pereira is really going to help out there. So now our budget has all but gone, but to be honest, I'm totally fine with that. We splashed the cash on our 3 new signings. They're in the positions we wanted. We've got the targets we were after, and I could not be happier with our summer business. So early on into the transfer window, we've done what we need to do. I couldn't be happier. However, there is quite an interesting bid here for our Spanish midfielder Santi Cazorla, as Atletico Madrid want to take him back to Spain for 11.9 mil. Now, of course, Cazorla, ever since suffering that serious injury, hasn't played for Arsenal and may never play for the club again, which would be such a shame. But at 32 years old now, on really high wages, with his contract up coming the end of the year, I'm fine letting him go. We'll negotiate, try and get a few more pennies, but I'm fine letting him go to Atletico Madrid. If we can't get more than 11.9 mil, then we'll take 11.9 mil. Cazorla, a fabulous player to watch when he's fit, but sadly might not ever play for Arsenal again, which is such a shame. And as we ask for 15 million, Atletico still see a future in him. They're going to say 15 million's fine, and that's actually a really good sale there. I'll certainly take that, no question. He's given Arsenal a lot of good years of service, but I'm totally fine letting him go if he wants to leave. But if he rejects the move, I'm fine keeping him here as well for his final 12 months. I don't mind either way, it's up to Santi. But our first game of the season is in the Community Shield against Chelsea, and I'm going to play this game. Even though it doesn't count to the objectives, it is the first game of the new year. It's a chance of silverware straight away at Wembley. Arsenal won the fixture in real life, and it's a chance for the debuts of Danilo Pereira, Stefan de Vrij, and of course Grimaldo as well. So first game, Chelsea in the Community Shield in the season opener. Let's see if we can start off with some silverware here at Wembley.
Well, he's looked, the manager, at what they need in the transfer market, and he's decided that a strong central defender is what's required, and here he is making his debut.
Yeah, they conceded 1 or 2 sloppy goals, I thought, last season particularly. And in an effort to stop that, he brings in this player who might just be able to plug some gaps.
Ramsey through to Danilo Pereira, making his debut. Nice little ball roll there as Bakayoko plays catch-up. And Pereira's taking it round him and played a brilliant free ball to Aubameyang, who is through! Oh! Off the top of the crossbar, so close to a debut goal for Pierre. He made the brightest start to this game, he's got to keep it going as Bellerin charges forward and finds Aubameyang. One-on-one against David Luiz here, a couple of skill moves, he's put a Brazilian on the floor. What a run and what a goal from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The former Dortmund man is off the mark on his debut, and Arsenal draw first blood at Wembley in the Community Shield. What a solo goal from Aubameyang. David Luiz was like Bambi on ice, didn't know what to do as he fell backwards as Aubameyang takes it round him, and with the coolest of finishes, slots it past Courtois and into the back of the net. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0, and a dream start for our new man up top. We have defended brilliantly in this game. 12 minutes to go, and as Pereira wins it back right on cue, he's had a stormer making his debut for Arsenal. Finds Aubameyang, who scored our first goal. Back to Pereira, past David Luiz, back to Aubameyang, surely for 2, and there it is. The Community Shield secured with 10 minutes to go. It's a brace for Aubameyang. The former Dortmund man does it. Arsenal 2, Chelsea 0, and it's game over at Wembley. We spent a lot of money improving our defence, and all of our new recruits have been fantastic today, including a signing I didn't make. Aubameyang's brace sinks the Blues, and Arsenal are Community Shield winners.
Well, I'm very pleased for this group. They're not the most fashionable team, but goodness me, they've worked hard. You can't fault them in any respect in terms of industry, and that's what you get.
That's what you get. They are a tight bunch, and I'm sure they'll be out tonight celebrating as a team, because they got this far and were successful as a team.
Wonderful scenes of joy here, and no wonder they're milking the moment. Want to make absolutely the most of this.
Well, they're a proper team, aren't they? They've stuck together, defended really well in this competition, and snatched the goals at the vital times. So, fully deserved winners.
It may not be the most coveted of trophies, but it's always great to start off the season with silverware and on the front foot. A really good defensive display, great to see after our 3 new signings, and a 2-0 victory gives us the Community Shield, and that's the way to start the season. And after the game as well, we can see Santi Cazorla has played his last game for Arsenal, did get on the pitch at Wembley, but will play no more games for the Gunners as he's back to his native Spain for £15 million. I'll certainly take that, as there's also a bid here for Ryan Huddart from Stevenage. We're going to accept that and see if you'll leave the second time of asking. And now, due to the sale of Cazorla and the season tickets coming in as well, we have around £28 million currently in our budget, so there could be more time and more money left over for 1 or 2 more signings. I'm not too sure. I like the score we got right now, but now that Cazorla's gone, could sign 1 more player before the window slams shut. And if we were to use that cash and bring in a new player, I think a new winger coming off the bench and providing an injection of pace could be really useful to replace Mkhitaryan and Ozil in late game situations. We've got Iwobi, but at 76 rated, I prefer someone a little bit better right now. Welbeck can play out wide, but as we know, he's injury prone, and Lacazette can do it in the striker role, but I wouldn't mind a new winger to come off the bench, provide some pace late on in games, and really hurt teams with the new energy. And with Christian Pulisic on the shortlist right now, this young American talent is making a real name for himself at Borussia Dortmund. He's valued at 16.5 mil on 38 grand a week, and at just 18 years old, this guy's got some absolutely fantastic stats in the area areas I'm looking for as well. Christian Pulisic coming off the bench, that'll be an amazing signing for Arsenal. We might have to spend the remainder of our budget on him, but I would still call that a really good deal if we can get him for around 27 to 28 million pounds. So he's valued at 16.5 mil. We'll put in the valuation bid to begin with straight away, and whilst we may not need him, we do have Iwobi, some more young talent as well. I think he'd be a steal, and for 20.8 million pounds, I'm not going to bother negotiating anything cheaper than that. That's an absolute bargain for one of the hottest prospects in European football. Christian Pulisic for 20.8 million pounds. We're getting some bargains in this summer transfer window, and this one's the latest. So as we've met the agent, he wants a squad role of rotation, which is exactly what we were going to offer, and we'll try and tie him down for the 5-year deal like the other new recruits, and they are happy with that as well. So great start to these contract negotiations here. As for the money, does he want a wage increase? Yes, he does. 20 grand a week extra to 58 grand a week with 2 bonuses there. We'll remove the appearance bonus of 610 grand after 10 games. We'll submit that second offer, and he wants to up the wages to 62 grand a week, but that to me is totally fine. A rotation player knows his role on a 5-year deal, and at 79 rated, just 18 years old, one of the hottest talents in European football, Christian Pulisic, welcome to Arsenal Football Club. And the deals we've pulled off in this summer transfer window, absolutely fantastic. What a signing. I could not be happier with the business we've done in this summer transfer window. 4 new recruits, cutting out some deadwood, bringing in players on low contracts and the transfer fees not inflated either, and Christian Pulisic arriving for 20.8 million pounds. The stats in the right areas, 82 ball control, 88 dribbling, so technically he's good as well as physically being a monster. 4-star, and whilst he won't be in the starting 11, he'll come off the bench, provide that injection of pace we're looking for to try and change the games late on. Christian Pulisic, welcome to Arsenal Football Club. What a signing. And whilst there is still some money remaining in the transfer budget, I don't think we'll make any new signings. We've got 2 players that are out of contract in the summer. Those are Jack Wilshere and Aaron Ramsey, that we desperately want to keep hold of and tie them down to a longer deal. So we could possibly make one more signing for the squad, but instead, no. We'll keep these 2 players here at the squad for the long term, offer these guys contract during the season, and make sure they stay at the Emirates Stadium. So first game of the Premier League season is 2015-2016 champions Leicester City here at the Emirates Stadium. First game of the new year, we are going to simulate it and see if we can start off with a win, which we've done so. Not quite as thrilling of a game, but a 1-0 victory, and we'll take that to start off with. Second game, Stoke City away. Can we make it 2 wins from 2 to start the Premier League campaign with our new look Arsenal side? Let's find out. No, 0-0 draw. Not a great start, but then again, 2 clean sheets in our first 2 Premier League games. That's not bad, and improving our defense was crucial. So it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. In all of our games this season, we need to focus on the positives as well as the negatives, even when we don't win. And for our final game of August, we're away at Anfield to take on Liverpool. Hopefully, we'll pick up yet another clean sheet to start this season off and continue to impress defensively. And we didn't, but the Vrij did score his first goal for the club in a 1-1 draw, and I'll take that. And so, as transfer deadline day arrived, we did absolutely nothing with 10 hours to go. We did our business early, signing 4 new recruits for £115.8 million and sold 3 experienced players on high contracts for £37.7 million as well. It was an efficient, productive, and really good transfer window as far as I'm concerned for the Gunners. We strengthened our team, particularly at the back, which was our main concern, and also selling those players on high contracts as well helps us restructure the wage budget, which was also another really key area for us to focus on. So transfer deadline day ends, the summer transfer window is over, and I'm very happy with the direction we're taking this Arsenal team in. With the first month of football now out of the way, as August has officially ended, it was a decent, if not an overly impressive start for the Gunners. Just 1 win in the first 3 Premier League games, but only 1 goal conceded does show we've really improved what was our main concern, plus winning the Community Shield was a nice way to start. As we head into September, there's a lot of games to come in a very physically demanding month, featuring Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, and also our first 2 Europa League games in a group where we've got Real Sociedad Bromby and also SCRA Autak as well, who will be our first opponents of the group. Plus Stoke away in the EFL Cup. There's a lot of games to come this month. It's going to be a tough one. Let's see what we do. So first game of the new month, Bournemouth here at the Emirates Stadium. No wins in our last 2. Should fancy our chance in this one though, and that's the way to start the month. 3-1 victory, and Pulisic off the bench, scoring his first goal for the club as well. What a start to September. That's why we signed Pulisic, baby. That's why we brought him to the club. Second game then, and now it's our first Europa League group game against SCR Altach. Can we get the win here to start off with? Should definitely fancy our chances, really. I think we are the strongest team out of the four, so we want to start off with the 3 points and begin our European campaign with a solid win here at the Emirates Stadium, and we got it. 2-0 victory and a brace for Aubameyang. We're back to the Premier League for our next game, and it's Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. Always a very tough fixture, this one for Arsenal. Made even tougher as the game comes just 2 days after our win on Thursday night. We still got the job done because Koscielny sent off, but Mesut Ozil gives us the winner. What a big victory for the Gunners. And right now the defense is really impressing, which is exactly what we wanted to see after making these new signings. But for our next game, it's Stoke in the EFL Cup third round. Finalists in real life, now away from home against Paul Lambert's side. I'm going to field a weakened side for the game to give the first 11 the night off. But this should be quite a tough test, this one. Let's see if we can get through it to the fourth round or not. No! Emre Can, a new signing for Stoke, giving them the winner in the first minute extra time, and that's it. Wembley in real life in the final, but no such place this year. Out in the third round. Well, Koscielny was suspended for the game, so I put Mustafi in. And Ozil and Aubameyang both wanted to start, but they're not going to be happy that I left them out of the matchday squad. But to be honest, I'm not really that focused on the EFL Cup. Again, they were beaten finalists in real life, losing to Manchester City by 3-0. But we've got bigger fish to fry. I'm far more focused on finishing in the top 4 in the Premier League, going far in the FA Cup, trying to retain it, and of course in the Europa League as well. The EFL Cup's gone, I don't mind one bit. Having the boys fit and fresh for the Premier League games, far more important to me. So heading into the next game, it's West Brom, who are high-flying, 5 wins from 5 to start the season off here at the Emirates Stadium. A massive clash between two informed sides on the back of our first loss of the season. Can we respond? Yes, we can. Grimaldo and Aubameyang with the goals. Big 2-0 victory as the Baggies taste defeat for the first time this season. And as we head into the final game of the month, it's Brøndby away in Denmark in the second Europa League group game. We won our first, but taking absolutely no chances heading into this one. We want to get through the group with minimal fuss, so let's get the 3 points here away in Scandinavia. Yes, 2-1 victory, but an injury for Danilo Pereira. Now that is not good news ending September. How bad is that? Don't be serious, 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 don't be serious. 7 days. 7 days, okay, could have been a lot worse. That's not bad at all. It'll miss a couple of games, but a weak injury, yeah, that could have been much more worse for our big money signing. September was a tough month, epitomised by our loss to Stoke in the EFL Cup, but all in all, it was actually a pretty good month for us. We're one of only 2 teams in the Premier League yet to taste defeat as we sit in the top 4, and we're also 100% in our Europa League group as well. Whilst the chance at one winnable trophy may already have gone, Arsenal have got much bigger priorities, and as October arrives, there's 5 key games in our 2 most important competitions, featuring a top of the Europa League clash at home to Real Sociedad on the 19th. So no Danilo Pereira heading into the first game of the month against Brighton. We'll throw Wilshere into the DM area and put El Neni on the bench for this one. Thankfully, there's an international break directly after the game, so it means he'll only miss this one and should come back for our next one in a fortnight's time. Brighton at home, Chris Hughton's side, newly promoted teams to the Premier League, should fancy our chances in this game, even in the absence of Danilo Pereira, and we've got the win. Grimaldo's fine form continues, another goal for our left back in a 2-0 victory. And we are keeping pace with the front runners Manchester City. Neither side has lost the game yet. And with us picking up the clean sheets too, it's great to see. Our defense has so badly improved since last year. We needed to improve it, and we certainly have. Watford away next out of Vicarage Road, and a chance to go top of the table if we can get the win here. Could be quite a tough game for us though, taking on the Hornets, and it has finished as a 0-0 draw, so yet another clean sheet as our defence continues to impress, but sadly no goals blunted. Next game, Real Sociedad, crucial game in Europa League on Thursday night here at home to the Spaniards, and what a big win as well. 3-0 scoreline, Aubameyang, Ozil, and that man Christian Pulisic again off the bench impressing. This is why we signed this guy, to come off the bench, change it later on for us. What a bargain he's proven to be already. I was so impressed with our business in the transfer window, and you can see exactly why. All 4 of our new recruits have hit the ground running and have looked like sound investments already. But Everton away next to Goodison Park, this won't be an easy test against Sam Allardyce's side, and that is a 2-1 loss and our first defeat of the Premier League season. Everton get the win. The Toffees are a very good team, and Goodison Park a tough place to come away with a winning, so that is not a good way to head into our final game of the month against Swansea. Now 5 points behind Manchester City in the early title run-in, and with Swansea at home our final game, we've got to make sure we respond in this one and get the 3 points. Come on boys, expecting and accepting nothing other than the 3 points here, and there we go, 2-0 victory, and Grimaldo, goal-scoring left-back, he's done it again. There weren't too many games in October, but it was great to win the biggest of the lot. Now 3 points clear in our Europa League group and looking dead certs to qualify, and despite our loss to Everton, our start in the Premier League hasn't been bad either. We sit in 3rd place, level on points with Manchester United, and only 2 points behind the leaders Manchester City. With 28 games to go, it's all to play for, and Arsenal fans must be encouraged by our superb defensive record to start the season off. With November now here, there's 2 absolutely massive games for the Gunners in what could be a really tough month. Manchester City away at the Etihad Stadium in a battle between 2 title rivals, and our first North London derby of the season at home to Spurs. Big fixtures need big performances, so let's see if we can get some big results. So Bromby at home first. And I'm going to make a bold decision heading into this game and field an entirely weakened side. Our backup brigade will go out there and see if they can get the job done here at the Emirates Stadium, make it 4 wins from 4. Because with Manchester City on the weekend, I need my first 11 fit, fresh and raring to go for that massive early season title battle. So let's see if the backup brigade can get the job done here. Yes, we can. 3-1, and Jack Wilshere bagging a brace. Sign a new contract, Jack. Stay at this club. He wore the captain's armband in that game. It was a captain's performance. And I think now on the back of that display, he deserves that new contract as well. At a contract in the summer, he's loved unanimously by the fans, Jack Wilshere. So he might be a player that can be injury prone at times, but I want to make sure this guy is tied down to a longer deal. Only 8 months left on his contract. Let's delegate a renewal, make sure he stays. We'll offer him, let's go with 100 grand a week to begin with, and won't go any higher than, let's go 130 grand a week. And he's going to sign a 4-year deal, 105 grand a week. Jack Wilshere staying at Arsenal Football Club, and it's just right. He deserves to stay. However, Jack will be on the bench for the second game of the month, because now it's time for the biggest game of the season so far. Manchester City, the front runners in the title race, away at the Etihad Stadium. So many points clear at the top of the table in real life. Certainly going to be crowned champions, but in the game, if we can win here, we will go top of the table early on this season. So a massive game so early on. It's Manchester City against Arsenal. Come on the Gunners, let's get a big 3 points here at the Etihad Stadium. And actually, I just noticed 2 things as we were progressing to the game. One, there were no lineups shown, which is always frustrating, but also, Alan Pardew's West Brom have gone top of the table. How on earth are they managing that? 24 points picked up already. They've been on fire. As Bellerin finds Ramsey for the first shot of the game, blocked and put behind for a corner. You saw the lineup scrolling there on the bottom. Come on, the Gunners. A fast start here in an early goal, and that'll be fantastic. Oh, Aubameyang's header. What a beginning. Brilliant delivery to the centre, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang continues his fine form to start the season with another goal. Manchester City 0, Arsenal 1, and what a start for the Gunners. Brilliant corner by Mesut Ozil. Aubameyang lost his mark of Vincent Kompany, and what a perfect header past Ederson and into the far corner. Brilliant technique, loops over the Brazilian. Manchester City 0, Arsenal 1. Sane for Manchester City rolls it through. Bernardo Silva on the turn, looking for space. David Silva finds Fernandinho, getting away from Pereira. Aguero, David Silva, what a goal! What a lovely goal! A brilliant team build-up, and the Spaniard fires Manchester City back on level terms just a few minutes after we took the lead. That's why they're going to be champions in real life. What a lovely goal! Bellerin through the gap to Granit Xhaka, takes it in his stride and looks for Aubameyang. And Aubameyang has Laporta to beat as he stops on a dime, comes inside and scores his second of the game. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang does it once again. Manchester City 1, Arsenal 2. What a signing this striker has been from Borussia Dortmund. Man's on fire. De Bruyne for Manchester City, plays it through to Sergio Aguero. That's a good ball there by the Argentine to free Bernardo Silva, who steps inside, and the former Monaco man finds David Silva, and what a fabulous save by Petr Cech. Life in those old bones yet. Here come the Sky Blues again though. Laporta to David Silva, their first goal scorer. Kyle Walker steps inside, releases Leroy Sané, and it's 1-1. Another nice goal, and the German puts Manchester City back on level terms. We surrendered the lead twice, and it's 2-2 with half an hour to go here at the Etihad Stadium. Well, that should be the game as we're now in stoppage time, and there is the final whistle. What a match this was. 2-2 the final score in an early season title battle. We may have surrendered the lead twice, but to be honest, we played quite well. Aubameyang bagged a brace, and away at the Etihad Stadium against the best team in England, I'll take a point. That's not a bad result. However, I desperately want to return to winning ways in the next game, because it's a 4th versus 6th battle as we slid down the table a little bit as we take on Mauricio Pochettino's Spurs in the first North London derby of the season. Back to the Emirates Stadium, back home, hopefully back on the winning wagon, and the first victory in our first North London derby of the season. Let's get the 3 points here, beat our rivals, and go back into 2nd place.
North London comes to a halt today because Arsenal take on Tottenham Hotspur in the North London derby. We're live on EA TV for you from the Emirates Stadium. Join us soon.
Come on, you Gunners. Big game here at the Emirates Stadium. First North London derby of the season. Got to come through. Got to get the win against Poch's boys here and start off strong in our first of 2 meetings against Spurs. And if we can start off with an early goal like we got at the Etihad, that'll be fantastic. Mkhitaryan steps inside, finds Granit Xhaka, looking for Aubameyang. Lloris makes the save, and Rose hooks it up in the air. Danger not fully away, and now it is. That's the start we want though. First shot on target. Now let's get the first goal. Ramsey through the gap, Aubameyang again latches onto it, it's Aubameyang, and there's the first goal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang does it again. Arsenal 1, Spurs 0, and we draw first blood in the North London derby, and what a surprise, it's our number 14 who's bagged another. And here the chants from the fans. Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Brilliant ball through. And Aubameyang keeps it low, hard into the corner. Past Lloris and into the back of the net for his 7th goal in the Premier League already. He's chasing the golden boot. We're chasing the 3 points. And that's the way to start off. Arsenal 1, Spurs 0. And now as Xhaka finds Ramsey and Ozil is sent down the right hand side, there might be a chance for a quick fire double here. It's Aubameyang and he's too quick. He's too quick for them. It's Aubameyang again. And he puts it in again. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is just unstoppable. Too quick, too lethal, too good. Arsenal 2, Spurs 0. What a start here at the Emirates Stadium. Ozil sent down the right hand side, and once Aubameyang gets in behind the back line, forget it, that's what we're going for here. Pierre's got one man to beat in Eric Dyer, keeps on going, can he take it all the way? Still Aubameyang, what a run, and oh my goodness gracious me, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has just said to the fans, calm it down, I know how good I am. It's his first ever North London derby, and in the first half he's collected a hat-trick, and that's the best goal of the lot. Arsenal 3, Spurs 0. This guy is too good. There's a new sheriff in town at the Emirates Stadium, and his name is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. An absolute thunderbolt, a goal of the season contender. What a goal from the former Dortmund striker. It's Arsenal 3, Spurs 0. What a first half here in this North London derby. Well, he may not have been one of my signings, but he's looking like one of the best signings Arsenal have made in a very long time. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang collects the match ball in his first North London derby as he scores a first half hat-trick in our 3-0 victory. What a win for the Gunners in our first meeting between Spurs this season. What a victory that was. And so with our penultimate Europa League group game coming next, we've already guaranteed qualification with 2 games to spare, so may as well simulate it as we are away from home. And let's just see if the backup brigade can get the job done. Doesn't really matter now, we know we're going through. We would like to top the group, ahead of Real Sociedad in 2nd place. So let's see if the backup brigade can get the job done here. No, 0-0 draw, but another clean sheet for us, so we'll take that, I suppose. We made a statement this year that our defence was going to be stronger than ever before with our new recruits, and they certainly have been watertight. With our final game in November away at Turf Moor against Burnley, if we win it, we will go top, and it's finished as a 2-2 draw, so only 1 win in our last 4 now, plus an injury for Ozil as well. That's not the way to close out November. How bad is that injury? Don't be a serious one. Please, 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 please. Oh, broken rib for Ozil. Out for 6 weeks. A crucial injury right at the end of November. He'll miss all of December and some key games to come next month as well. That's a bad injury, and 1 win in 4 as well. Not a great way to end November, that. November was a very tough month, and despite the big win over Spurs, it could have gone much better. Just 1 win in our last 4 games, and now Ozil out until January too. Things are getting a little bit concerning for the Gunners. We slid down to 4th place in the table and could still miss out on top spot in the Europa League group if Real Sociedad beat us on match day 6. And with a physically demanding month of December to come with 9 games to squeeze into 31 days, we'll need to be at our best if we're to get our form sorted. Some crucial games to come, including that final Europa League group game, plus Liverpool at home and also Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium in the first game of the month. So Ozil out until January, just 1 win in 4 for the Gunners. Now a 4th versus 3rd clash here at the Emirates Stadium against Manchester United. We could really do with a win here to get us back on the winning wagon. 4th versus 2nd clash, I should say now, as Manchester United go ahead of Manchester City. Come on, Arsenal. We desperately need a win to start December off and get our form sorted once again. Yes, get in a 2-1 victory, and Aubameyang gets his 10th of the year, along with Mkhitaryan as well. Big win. That result moves us into 2nd place, now 19th place, Huddersfield next, and I do believe if we win this game here at the Emirates, we will go top and leapfrog West Brom, so no hiccups here. Let's just get those 3 points, and we do it with 3 goals as well. Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang and Pulisic as well in his 2nd start of the month, capitalising on the Ozil injury, and I'm pretty sure that means we've gone top of the table. Well done, boys. Tough run of form, tough month of November, but this is the way to start the 12th month of the calendar year. Now Real Sociedad away in Spain. We've already qualified for the knockout stage of the Europa League. This is the final group game, and I'm going to field a weakened side for it with some bigger Premier League games to come. If we lose this game, we will drop down to 2nd, but if we hold off Sociedad, we will finish top of the group. Let's find out if the backup brigade can get at least a point in this game that will see us remain top of the table. Note we've lost by 3 goals to 2, which means we will finish in 2nd place, but qualification was what we were after. We've done that, so I'm satisfied enough. I'm quite excited to see who will be taking on in the round of 32 of the Europa League though, and it's going to be Zenit St. Petersburg. The Russian side over 2 legs. First leg at home on the 15th, then the 2nd leg away in Russia on the 22nd. And yeah, going to be a tough tie that one, but certainly one we can overcome. Zenit St. Petersburg. First game in February. Bring them on. Just 2 wins in our last 5 games though now, so we haven't exactly got back to fantastic form just yet. But with our next game here coming against West Ham on Tuesday, our first 11 fit, fresh and raring to go away from home. Let's get the job done, and as West Brom have once again gone top of the table, Alan Pardew's side are on fire. Let's leapfrog them again and reclaim our place at top of the league. West Ham away, come on boys, let's get that win. 1-1 draw, Mkhitaryan with the goal, but couldn't get the 3 points. I will stay in 2nd, just 2 wins in 6 now. We really should beat Newcastle at home, and the 3 points here will send us top of the table as West Brom have finally slipped up. So come on boys, couldn't get the win in the last game. Let's make sure we get it right here tonight. Newcastle at home, and that's what I'm talking about. A 3-0 scoreline and a brace for Aubameyang, who continues to lead the way in the top scoring charts. And just before our next game against Southampton in midweek, the chief exec has let me know that Aaron Ramsey can leave the club on a free transfer come the end of the season if we don't give him a new contract. So that needs to be done right now before the January window comes around. Ramsey, such a fantastic player. The Welsh midfielder has to stay at the Emirates Stadium. We're not letting him go. So let's give this guy a new contract and keep him here. He's currently on 110 grand a week. We'll start the initial wages off at 140 grand a week. Won't go higher than, let's go 200 grand a week. Sign the extension, Aaron. Yes, there we go. 5-year deal, 140 grand a week. Aaron, like Jack, is going nowhere. And with Southampton at home next, I'm going to make an interesting decision heading to the game as we are still top and West Brom have lost for the 2nd game in a row for the first time this season. We've got Liverpool in just 3 days' time, which is a much tougher game for us. So I'm going to field a weakened side for the match and hope we can get the job done at St Mary's. Although this won't be an easy test here against a side with some really decent players with a backup brigade out there. But let's see if they can get the job done. And it's finished as a 2-2 draw. So our stuttering form continues heading into the Liverpool clash. 2-2, not a bad result though against the Saints. I'll take it. It does keep us top. But I'm just looking at the calendar right now, and it means that we've only won 3 of our last 8 games. Is that right? No wins in 2, 2 wins in 4, 2 wins in 5, 2 wins in 6, 3 wins in 7. Yeah, 3 wins in 8 games for Arsenal. It's a little bit worrying, to say the very least, at the moment, and we just can't seem to get it sorted. However, as we head into the next game, this is a big one. We take on Liverpool here at home in our 19th game of the season, and come the end of 90 minutes, we'll be halfway through the Premier League campaign, and if we want to be top at the halfway point, we'll need to win this game. Only the 3 points will do, as Manchester United are 2 points clear. So Liverpool at home, it is the next game, and after a stuttering run of form, we need a big statement victory here against Jurgen Klopp's Reds. Let's get the job done at the Emirates Stadium and go top of the table halfway through the season. Still tied at 0-0 in this game, 25 minutes in. Again, only a win will send us top 19 games into the season. So, got to come through and get the 3 points here as Salah steps inside. The one thing we can't afford to do is lose tonight. Salah back to Wijnaldum, finds an opening, lifts it over the bar. The board have said we need to finish in the top 4. Based on our starts of the season, that's looking increasingly likely to happen. But I want to stay in the title race. And if we're to do that, we need to win these sort of games. Come on, Arsenal. It's great to see that our defence is remaining very tight out there, but we need some goals tonight. Still tied at 0-0, and it seems like that is how the game is going to finish unless Liverpool can claim the 3 points, which, to be honest, they probably deserve. But as Brandt makes the tackle, there's a chance on the break here. Pereira to Xhaka, through the gap to Aubameyang. Out wide is the American. We'll send him down the right, and a great chance here. He's in behind James Milner. He turns, he steps inside, he shoots, and Carrier saves. Our one and only chance, and Pulisic just couldn't finish. Corner for the Gunners, Mkhitaryan takes, and it might drop to Danilo. Pereira off the post. Oh, 10 minutes to go. We could still win this. Pulisic's throw. Mkhitaryan controls. Gives it back to the American. Down the left-hand side. Here's the pressure we needed. Pulisic crosses. Aubameyang can't get there. He'll drop back to the former Dortmund man. Off the post again. So unlucky. Draws in the big games will not see us crowned champions. And if we're to have any chance of winning our first Premier League title since 2003-2004, these are the games we need wins in. A draw, it's 3 wins in 9. And Arsenal's really struggling patch of form continues. Oh man, we've blown our chance to be top of the table at Christmas, and Manchester United will lead the way heading into Boxing Day. Crystal Palace away now at Selhurst Park, and after a really poor run of form, we need to get the win. Going to the backup brigade. Can a fresher side get the job done? No. 1-1, and we just can't get it sorted right now. We are all over the place. 3 wins in 10. Nowhere near good enough. Although, to be fair, the result did send us top of the table on goal difference ahead of Manchester United. And as we head into the final game of the month, as Zill's coming back from injury, what a great boost as we take on an in-form West Bromwich Albion side at the Hawthorns. Massive game to end December. And if we want to be top of the table heading into 2018, I'm pretty confident we'll need to get the 3 points. So come on, Arsenal, back to our strongest lineup. Let's get back to winning ways after a really bad run of form. Yes! 2-1 victory, Grimaldo with another goal, and Mkhitaryan giving us a much needed 3 points. Just like in November, December proved to be a very tough month for the Gunners, where our form would have been described as patchy at best, but at least we closed it out strong. Our win over the Baggies means we're top of the table heading into the new year, and with Ozil coming back from injury too, we might be getting back to our best. But as January comes round, there's some tough fixtures this month, including Chelsea at home to start off with, and West Brom at home in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, where we've also found out who we'll face in the round of 32 stage in Europa League, and that's the Russian side Zenit, with the first leg coming on the 15th of February. 2018 is here, so let's make sure we start the calendar year off right, get a big win against Chelsea, and progress to the FA Cup 4th round. The January transfer window is now open as well, lest we forget, but I'm not sure we'll be doing any business in this month. I like the team we've got, and whilst we may be struggling a little bit in our form right now, and we've now dropped down to 2nd place with Manchester United going top of the table, we're into the round of 32 of the Europa League as well. I like the team as it is, and I want to keep the boys together heading into the new year. So first game of 2018 is Chelsea at home. We could really use a win to start the month off, and it's a 1-1 draw. Our bad form continues, and we just can't beat the big teams, just can't do it. This is a real concern for us. You can't be crowned champions if you can't beat the big teams. And right now we really can't. But West Brom at home now. FA Cup third round. Is Ozil ready to come back into the first team? No, still has the plaster. I'm not going to risk it. We cannot afford to hamper Ozil's injury and watch it get exacerbated. So gotta hope the boys can get the job done without him. West Brom in fine form this season in the Premier League with 2 points behind Manchester United at the top of the table. But FA Cup run, that's what we need. A distraction right now as we try and retain the trophy we won last season. Here's the game, here's the win. Aubameyang with the only goal, and we'll definitely take that because we really needed it. Well done, boys. Bournemouth away next, and the win will send us back to top of the table, if only temporarily. So let's get our form sorted and get a big 3 points here. Yes, 3-1 the final score, and Ozil may have missed a penalty on his return to first team duties, but at least Aubameyang got 2 goals as we get those 3 points and go into first place. Come on! Take every game as it comes, one match at a time. Let's get our form sorted here. Crystal Palace at home. Let's get another big win and 3 wins in 3. Come on, the Gunners. There we go. 2-1 victory. And now we're getting back to our best. This is more like it. Oh, and I've just seen who we're taking on in the 4th round, the FA Cup as well. And how about this? It's Nottingham Forest away. Of course, in real life this season, Nottingham Forest beat them at home in the 3rd round to knock Arsenal out of the Cup. This time it's the 4th round. Can we get revenge in the game? Well, that's our next match. Let's find out. Obviously, it won't be easy as the Gunners found out in real life in that 4-2 defeat, but hopefully after 3 wins in our last 3, we're now getting our form sorted and won't slip up here to championship opposition. So Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup 4th round at the City Ground. Let's get the job done and progress to the 5th round. No! I don't believe it. Kieran Dow, who scored in that 4-2 victory, has dumped us out of the FA Cup. Nottingham Forest get the win. Arsenal are out. Who said FIFA's not realistic? Well, that's it then. We're out of the FA Cup. We won't be retaining it. That's now 2 winnable competitions gone in the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. And as deadline day is now here, I'm going to make no deals whatsoever as the window comes to its close. And after 3 wins from 3, I really felt we were getting our form sorted, but these past 3 months have been very testing for the Gunners. This was not the way we wanted to end the first month of 2018. So as we speed through transfer deadline day, no business done whatsoever. It's up to the current boys to get our form sorted once again and keep us in the hunt for a Premier League title and also a Europa League as well. With Arsenal's form since October being anything but enviable, and now out of the FA Cup, many fans might question why we did no business in January. But as we sit in 2nd place in the table, only 2 points behind league leaders Manchester United, out of the Europa League round of 32 tie against Zenit to come this month, I trust our current team to keep fighting for a league and European double. February, however, is a big month for the Gunners. Not only do we face the Russians twice in 7 days, with Spurs away and Manchester City at home towards the end of the month, if we don't get our form sorted this month, we might be questioning whether any silverware is realistically possible this season. It's a huge month for the Gunners where we must, and I repeat must, get our form sorted with 4 massive games to come. So Spurs away, first game of the big month, and we could really use a win to kickstart our season and get back on track. We slid down to 3rd place in the table, but the 3 points could send us top with 13 games to go. It's a crucial North London derby. We won the first, let's win the second and get a big 3 points here at Wembley. Cannot afford to lose this game. Watch the gap cut between us and Spurs to 1 point. We need to make sure we stay in the top 4. If we're not going to win the title, we have to stay in the top 4 and qualify for next year's Champions League. But again, a win will send us top, or possibly send us top, depending on what Manchester United do. So big 3 points here, going top of the table, 15 games to go. That's the dream. As Pereira sends Mkhitaryan down left-hand side. First chance could fall early as Henry crosses and picks out Mesut Ozil. And oh, it's going to go in. Michel Vorm got a touch, but it deflects in off the turf, then in off the Dutch goalkeeper. And Mesut Ozil claims it as Arsenal take the lead. Spurs 0, Arsenal 1, and a big stroke of luck to start the North London derby. Is Ozil going to claim it? No, it's going to go down as an own goal from Michel Vorm. He made the initial save, did really well, but the Dutch goalkeeper goalkeeper did not get the luck. It ricochets off the turf, then off his right glove and into the back of the net as the former Swansea goalkeeper has an own goal as Arsenal go in front. 1-0, we don't mind how they go in so long as they do. You got to feel sorry for Michel Vorm, really, because that was a good save on Ozil. That was a really good stop to deny the German, but as it hit the ground and hit his hand and trickled into the back of the net, a real slice of luck for Arsenal, but we will take it as Christian Eriksen tries to get Spurs back on level terms, and so almost did. Bellerin down the right hand side finds Mesut Ozil, and he'll give it back to Hector, who's got a lot of space to run into here and keeps on going, and he's bearing down on goal, and Hector Bellerin doubles the lead for Arsenal. No such luck with this goal, just a really great run from our Spanish right back. He had the pace and he had to finish the match. Spurs 0, Arsenal 2, and we doubled the lead just before the break. Great tackle by Vrij on Wanyama, and as he sends Ozil down the right hand side, there might be a chance for a third goal here. It's Mesut Ozil on the ball, who dinks it into Aubameyang, and there is the third goal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang puts the icing on the cake. Spurs 0, Arsenal 3, just like at the Emirates Stadium. We've torn Pochettino's team apart. Many people are starting to question now whether Spurs are the better team in North London, but this season we are not going to let that be the case. Back-to-back victories in our North London derbies with the same scoreline of 3-0. And 6 goals in these 2 games against Poch's boys, plus back-to-back clean sheets. We've really improved our defence, and you're seeing the results on the pitch. Another big win for the Gunners, and the perfect way to start the month of February. I'm not going to utter the phrase, mind the gap, because there's a long way to go in the season, but that's a big result there in our bid to stay in the top 4, and it's taken us top of the table as well. Our form has been poor, don't get me wrong, but now leading the league with 13 games to go. We are in a title race this season. Let's make sure we can win it. Back home now though, in time for the first leg of our big Europa League round of 32 clash against the Russian side Zenit St. Petersburg. Let's make it back-to-back wins to start February off and get a really solid result heading back to Russia in 7 days time. That's what I'm talking about. 3-0. What a brilliant first leg result that. Manchester City coming just 3 days later, leading by 3-0. I want my first team fit, fresh and raring to go for the visit of the Sky Blues, so I'll field a weakened side knowing that unless Zenit put 3 past us, we are heading into the Europa League round of 16. So doesn't matter if we lose this game here in Russia, as long as we don't lose by more than 2 goals. Let's see if we can get the job done. Anyway, 1-1 draw, that's good enough for me. May not be a win, but it's not a loss, and we are through to the round of 16. But as we head back to England and back home for the next game, what a massive one this is. It's second versus third, with both teams separated by just goal difference in the race for the title as Arsenal take on Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium. We head into the game 2 points behind league leaders Manchester United, but do have a game in hand, so if we can win this, we'll go top of the table with just 12 games to go. It's a massive clash, neither side can afford to lose. It's Manchester City in a massive battle for the title here in February.
Who is going to prevail here? The home team with its best defensive record in the league, or the top scoring visitors who've got such ammunition in their attack? Stay tuned for it. All the action coming up from the Emirates Stadium, and it's live.
You could say whoever wins this game has the best chance of being crowned champions. Whoever wins goes top of the table, and with just 12 games to go, destiny will be in their own hands. So, massive clash here at the Emirates Stadium. Obviously, in real life, the less said about the fixture result, the better, as David Silva goes very close early. But this is going to be a tough test. After 2-2 draw at the Etihad, both teams certainly up for this game this evening. Come on, Arsenal. Let's get these 3 points. Let's lead the league once again. Aubameyang away from Otamendi and turns. Ramsey's running through. They'll slide it out wide to Ozil instead. It's Mesut Ozil, takes his time, sets himself and hits the top of the crossbar. What a start to the big title clash. Xhaka cuts out that loose ball and finds Danilo Pereira through the legs. Great work there from Pereira, showing off his full weapons in his arsenal as he finds Aubameyang down the right, and I'll roll it back into Pereira, and Pereira on the ball. Nice build up. This slices it into Ozil, and Claudio Bravo makes the save. A lovely build up from the Gunners. Danilo Pereira certainly found his feet this season, but that's a big stop there. It's still 0-0, and again it's saved, but Mkhitaryan turns in the rebound, and Arsenal strike first in the big title clash. Henrik Mkhitaryan, the former Manchester United and Dortmund man, Fives us in front, and it's Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. David Silva for Manchester City turns his man and finds Sergio Aguero into Bernardo Silva, and Cech makes the save and turns it behind for a corner. We cannot afford to do what we did at the Etihad Stadium and surrender our lead. We've got to stay tight defensively. We've got to see out these 3 points. Danilo Pereira into Granit Xhaka, and Xhaka on the turn gets away from Aguero and fizzes one across the pitch to Hector Bellerin into Aaron Ramsey as Arsenal lead by a goal. And our general play in this first half's been very good indeed. The build-up's been really nice, easy on the ice, and really good passing. That's what you think of when you think of Arsenal. And in this game, we have not let the fans down in that respect. Wonderful build-up. Aubameyang for 2-0. Fires it in. What a lovely goal as Arsenal double the lead just before the break. Arsenal 2, Manchester City 0, and the top scorer in the league has bagged another. Sane for Manchester City finds Ilkay Gundogan off the bench here down the right-hand side, trying to get around Grimaldo, who makes the tackle, but gets it back. As Manchester City still look for an opening. We've been watertight defensively in this game, though. Let's not throw away the clean sheet here and allow City to get back in it. Sterling on the ball, blocked by Vrij, and Xhaka clears. And I've got to be honest here, there is a big reason as to why we're going to get the 3 points in this game and go back to the top of the table. Our defense has been fantastic. There's a saying, defense wins championships, and right now defense is the reason we're going top of the table, as Aubameyang could have secured it in stoppage time, but Bravo makes the save. And as we wait for the final whistle to come any second now, it's going to confirm it. Arsenal's 2-0 victory does see us go back to top of the table. It's another clean sheet picked up for the team with the best defensive record in the division. A huge win over Pep's side sees us leapfrog Manchester United and take the lead in the title race, and you see what it means. February was a massive month for the Gunners, where I said at the start of it, we needed to get our form sorted, and we certainly did. Our big victories over Spurs and Manchester City see us sit top of the tree with 12 games to go, and after our win over Zenit, we're also into the last 16 in the Europa League, where we'll be taking on the Turkish side Besiktas, with both of our games played in this month of March, sandwiched in between a clash at home to Watford. With some favourable fixtures to come in the league and 3 of the 4 being at home, we're targeting yet another undefeated month that will hopefully see us remain in good form and see us remain top of the table. Well, actually, scratch what I just said there, the Watford game's being rescheduled to the 1st of the month, and that's the first game we shall play. So let's simulate it here at home. A win will keep us top of the table, and there'll be 11 games to go remaining in the season, and there's the win. Ozil and Danilo Pereira, a new signing, giving us the 3 points, the perfect way to start the month. However, Brighton away next, and this won't be an easy game with our Europa League clash against Besiktas coming in just 4 days' time. And this game coming just 3 days after the win over Watford, so I think what I might do is gamble here and field a weakened side, so the first 11 are fit for that game against Besiktas. It's a brave thing to do since we've now got our form sorted, but I trust the backup brigade. It's still a good team. Come on, lads, get the job done and get us the 3 points. No, it's a 1-1 draw. We need to keep on rotating, but that's a big slip up away from home. However, we are still on a 6-game unbeaten run. And if we can beat Besiktas here away in Turkey in the first leg of our Europa League round of 16, all will be forgiven. We want a solid result here on the road. We'd love a couple of away goals to take back to the Emirates Stadium as well. Come on, boys, let's get the job done and prove that rotating the side was the right thing to do. Well, it's not a win by a clear margin, but it's a 2-1 scoreline, and we'll take it. They have to score 2 goals at the Emirates. That's a good win for us there. Actually, I'm just realising that due to the fixture rescheduling of the Watford game, that means that the second leg comes directly after the first leg. So, taking them on back at home, failed to concede more than 1 goal tonight, and we will be heading through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So let's get the job done, boys. Let's get through with minimal fuss tonight, and a 1-1 draw will do it for us. It's not a win, but we're still through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. However, as Manchester United now take the lead in the title race in what has been a very close title race, we've got 2 games in hand and now play host to Everton. Win this game and we'll go top on the goal difference swing and have a game in hand as well. So a huge game tonight at the Emirates Stadium. Let's get these 3 points, lads. And we've done it. 2-1 the victory. Ozil and Grimaldo with the goals, and that puts us top of the table with a game in hand as well. Oh, do you know what? It doesn't, because Manchester United played on the same night and beat Liverpool 3-0, so actually, we're still 3 points behind, but still have those 2 games in hand. Hey, we're winning our games. That's the most important thing. And our final game of the month is at home to Stoke City. Manchester United are playing on the same day, so we could go top with a win here, but if they get just a point, then they'll stay top to where in March. We still got to keep on winning though. Got to make sure we don't slip up in the games in hand, and it's another win for us. 3-1 the scoreline, and Grimaldo. How many goals does this guy score from the left back role this season? We got the undefeated month of March that we targeted, but still slipped down to second place. However, with just 8 games to go in the season, in what has been a crazy title race, we've got 2 games in hand on the league leaders, and if we win all of our final matches, we will be crowned champions. Destiny is in our own hands, and it feels great to know that Arsenal have a genuine chance of winning the Premier League once again for the first time since 2004. We're also into the Europa League quarterfinals, where we'll take on Lyon, with both games coming in this month of April, featuring a lot of games, including the biggest game of the season right at the end, where we'll take on Manchester United away from home in a potential title decider at Old Trafford. It's a massive month for Arsenal, both in the league and Europe, as we continue our hunt for silverware in the trophy cabinet. So we have a very simple scenario ahead of us: win our final 8 games, win the Premier League title. But doing that is going to be anything but simple. 8 games to come this month, lots to squeeze in, and the first away in Wales, where we've drawn 1-1. That is not the start we needed to a massive month. 3 games coming in just 5 days. This is when the season really takes its toll. Leicester City away next to King Power Stadium. Our second game in hand and our final game in hand. Slip up in it and we'll stay in second place, but win it and we'll go top. Got to get the 3 points tonight, and we do. Ozil and Mkhitaryan with the goals, and we're back top of the tree. Come on, Arsenal. The gap is just 1 point between the top 2 with 6 games to go. My team are tired, but I can't afford to give them the day off. We've got to keep winning. We need to stay top of the table. Southampton at home next. Must get the 3 points and extend the gap to 4 points to give us some breathing room. And there we go. Ramsey, Ozil and Grimaldo again, giving us a massive victory. I think I'm going to have to rotate the side against Lyon here at home. The first 11 can't keep playing every single game. Most of them have replenished their energy quite well, but not fully. And I'm going to trust the backup brigade here at home to the French side in the first leg of our quarterfinal tie. I'll take a draw in this game. I just don't want to concede an away goal. We want to have the best possible chance of winning in the second leg in 7 days' time. And we've lost by 2-1. Wilshere scored and missed a penalty for us as Lyon get the win, coming from behind. And that's a big deficit to take back to France, knowing we must score twice. Well, I gambled, and it didn't pay off. I felt I needed to rotate the side because of a massive game at St James's Park coming on Sunday. Manchester United play on the Saturday and should cut the gap to 1 point in the table with 5 games to go. We need to stay clear of them, and we must win this game here. So let's make sure the decision to rotate the side on Thursday night did not come in vain. Come on, boys, get the 3 points here. Send us 3 points clear. That's what I'm talking about, and that's why I rested the team. We had to win this game. But there was an injury for Granit Xhaka, and he's going to be out for 7 days, so not a serious injury. We're also going to be out to Vrij for our next Premier League match as well. But an injury for Xhaka, not great, and now Lyon in the second leg of our Europa League quarterfinal, trailing by 2-1 after our first leg loss at the Emirates Stadium. This is a massive game and a season-defining game for the Gunners as well. If we are to win the Europa League, we need to score at least 2 goals tonight to progress to the semi-finals. It's a big ask. We've come through in some big games this season, and now we must do it once again. It's Lyon away in France in the second leg of our Europa League quarterfinal. Wilshere, captain of the night, finds Danilo Pereira through to Ramsey. And now back to Mustafi, takes it over the halfway line and finds the Welshman into Lacazette, the former Lyon striker, who gets us back in the tie with an absolute rocket. Lyon 0, Arsenal 1, Lacazette scores against his former club, and we have the first of 2 goals needed tonight, 10 minutes in. What a start! Well, we know we must score again, but that's the way to start off. It's a thunderbolt from the former Lyon forward as he fires it past Lopez, showing no mercy on his former team. 1 goal down, 1 more to go, 80 minutes remaining, and the perfect start to the second leg. There's a reason I started Lacazette for this game tonight. Sat on the bench most of the season, now taking on his former team. I thought he'd be fired up, and he certainly started off that way. Here he is again. Lacazette couldn't get inside, and Ward-Prowse makes the tackle. We've been a better team in this first half, but it's great to be in front. We still need another though, and as Fekir finds Mariano, a chance here for Lyon. Mariano down the left-hand side, crosses to the middle, and in comes Cornet, who should have made it 1-1. Half an hour to go, and whilst we may still lead by a goal, don't forget we need another tonight to progress, otherwise Lyon are heading into the semi-finals, and to be fair to them, whilst we may still be leading, they've played quite well, and again we're just balanced on the knife edge, and whoever gets the next goal, I'm sure, is going to be celebrating a place in the Europa League semi-finals. Marcelo out wide to Memphis, pass cut out by Elneny, and away we go. Come on Arsenal, Lacazette on the ball, finds Pulisic down the right, can he get away from Gerhardt? No, and we just can't break Lyon down. We had a great start, but we can't get any more chances. Another chance here for the host. Wonderful shot, wonderful goal, and that might do it. Lyon won, Arsenal won, 3-2 over 2 legs, and the hosts have levelled things no less than they deserve. And Arsenal's European adventure may be ending here in France. He took a touch, he got it out of his feet, and from just close to the penalty area, from 20 yards, bends one past Petr Cech, who had absolutely no chance. 2 wonderful goals tonight, one apiece, and Lyon might be into the Europa League semi-finals. And there it is, it's all over. Lyon are heading into the Europa League semi-finals. We needed to score twice tonight, we could only manage one. The French side dump us out, and that's it. Our 3rd of 4 winnable competitions have gone. Our European adventure ends here, and despite Lacazette's goal, it comes in vain as Lyon are into the Europa League semis. It's no less than they deserved. They were the better team on the night, they were clearly the better team over 2 legs, and that's it. Arsenal's European adventure comes to its end in the quarter-final stages, and that now means there's only one competition left, and it is the Premier League. And with just a few games to go, we still sit top, but Manchester United do have the game in hand, and as the season reaches climax, we've got to hold the Red Devils off if we are to collect the silverware. It's this or nothing. My manager rating has taken a massive hammering. The board aren't happy, but the fans will be if we can win our first Premier League title in over a decade. We've got West Ham next. Who's missing for the game? Oh, Vrij suspended, isn't he? So we'll pop Mustafi into our starting 11 for this game as we take on the Hammers and put Callum Chambers on the bench. This game will see Manchester United have 2 games in hand as the season comes to its close. So right now, 4 points behind. We can't afford to slip up any of our remaining 4 games. First one, West Ham at home. Got to return to winning ways here, and we do, and that's the statement we needed. A big loss to Lyon over 2 legs, but a big win here against West Ham. We're going to stay top. We're going to win the Premier League. Come on, the Gunners. And as we now head into the final game of April, it's the biggest game of the season. The stage is set for the potential title decider as Manchester United play host to Arsenal. We're currently 4 points clear at the top, so if we win this game, the title is all but secured heading into May. If we draw, the gap remains the same, but if Manchester United win, they'll cut the gap to just 1 point, and they'll have a game in hand as well, where if they win their remaining fixtures, they'll be crowned champions. It's the biggest game of the season, it's the potential title decider, it's Manchester United against Arsenal.
What a pivotal game this can be in the season. The top 2 are going to sort it out in a match here, and maybe sort out the title in doing so as well. Stay tuned as we bring you all the action from Old Trafford, and it's live.
Who's going to be our Sylvain Wiltord? Who's going to be the next hero for Arsenal that all but clinches the title here at Old Trafford? The one thing we can't afford to do today is lose. If that happens, I think Manchester United go on to win the title. I don't see any other scenario when they don't win the title if they win this game. So I'll take a point, keep the gap at 4 points, but a win, and the title is surely ours. Ozil to Aaron Ramsey, down the right-hand side, trying to outpace Nemanja Matic and roll it through to Aubameyang. It's a great ball, it's Aubameyang, and De Gea makes the save. That would have been the absolute dream start here at Old Trafford. Still tied at 0-0, 23 minutes in. Made the bright start to the game, but you feel at the moment both teams are quite tense out there. Neither side can afford to lose this game. A draw's not a bad result for either team, but neither side can lose. Mkhitaryan heads it across the face of goal, and Rojo heads it away. If either team loses this game, then they're going to lose the title. It's as simple as that, as Mkhitaryan almost did something spectacular there. But still 0-0, still deadlocked. I think whoever gets the first goal is going to win this game, and whoever wins this game will win the title. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Corner won by the Gunners. Can we strike late and take a big goal in this race for the title? Oh, Decent delivery, but Aubameyang couldn't make clean connection. We have been the better team, but still 0-0. Can we change that? Aubameyang onto the roof of the net. Lingard for Manchester United, out wide towards Daley Blind. As we are still deadlocked here at 0-0, 5 minutes after the restart. Blitz delivery headed clear by Vrij, and Bellerin gets it cleared straight to Lingard, and now Zlatan Ibrahimovic has found space and found the bottom corner. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0, and the Swede finds the Red Devils in front and possibly gives them a major step towards the title. 1-0. Well, the one thing we can't afford to do is lose this game. Now trailing just after the restart. It's a cool as you like finish from the cool as you like Swede. Ibra gives United the lead, and now we must respond. If the scoreline stays like this and Manchester United win, they'll cut the gap to 1 point and have a game in hand. Big 40 minutes to come where we must find an equaliser. Mkhitaryan through to Aubameyang, and now Ramsey on the ball, running at Rojo, goes back to Pereira, out wide to Bellerin, and Hector Bellerin looks for Aubameyang. Oh, great ball, great first touch, first shot blocked, second shot rifled into the back of the net, and a perfect response from Arsenal. We needed to get back on level terms. It takes us just 5 minutes. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1, and there's the equalising goal we needed. We've been the better team this afternoon, the much better team. And I'm so delighted we've got the goal to get back on level terms. Look, we don't need to win this game. A draw will be enough to keep us... Oh, what a save by Petr Cech, but the flag was up for offside anyway. A draw will keep us currently top by 4 points. And even if Manchester United win their game in hand, we'll still be top by a point. So, do we gamble and go for the win and try and win it here at Old Trafford? Or do we settle for the draw? I think we play it safe. Is there one final twist in this potential title decider? Pogba to Cuadrado as Manchester United go for the win. It's a deep cross to the far post where Stefan de Vrij had to defend that perfectly, and he did. Still 1-1. See out the point, lads, and we'll call it a good result. We'll still be top. Ball inside. Herrera's shot blocked, cleared away, and that will do it. Nothing decided today, a 1-1 draw. We stay 4 points clear, and whilst the Red Devils have the game in hand, if we win our final 2 fixtures, we will be crowned champions. We came from behind to claim it, and I'll definitely take that point. The game could not have been bigger, and the point could prove to be crucial. As April ends, Arsenal still sit top of the table by 4 points, knowing that if they win their final 2 games of the season against Burnley at home and Huddersfield Town away, they'll win their first Premier League title in a decade. We may be out of the Europa League, there may be no European silverware, but as it comes to the close and the season's almost over, if we finish strong, win our final 2 games, it will still be a season worth celebrating, as Arsenal will be crowned champions of England for the first time in 14 years. Well, here we go, the final run-in. 2 games to go, our final game at the Emirates, Burnley at home. I trust the boys to get the job done in a penultimate game of the season, so it's a gamble, but I'm going to simulate it. I can't see us slipping up in this game, not on the back of a big point away at Old Trafford. I'm sure we're going to get the win. I'm very confident. I'm a little bit nervous, but come on Arsenal, let's get the 3 points. There we go. We are 1 win away from being crowned champions of the Premier League. And I'm actually just realising Manchester United are now 2 games behind us, because they don't play until today on the 6th. And then there's also a game as well on the 11th away at the Vitality. So they've got 2 games in hand, and they need to win them both, really, to have any chance of still picking up to the title. Well, they've won their first, so they're not going to give up, are they? Their penultimate game of the season comes on the 11th, away at the Vitality against Eddie Howe's side. So if Bournemouth take points off them, we'll be crowned champions before a ball's even been kicked on the final day. So come on Bournemouth, give us the title with a game to spare and we'll love you forever. No, Manchester United get the win and they just refuse to give up. They've taken it to the final day, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. It's Huddersfield Town away in the final game of the Premier League season as Manchester United play host to Watford, where they'll surely win that game, which means that we'll have to win here away from home ourselves if we're to pick up our first Premier League title title in over a decade. We failed in the EFL Cup, we failed to retain our FA Cup as well, we failed in the Europa League, but if we succeed in the Premier League and win our first Premier League title in 14 years, the fans will never forget it and always be grateful. It's Huddersfield Town on the final game of the season. Let's be crowned Premier League champions once again and become Kings of England for the first time in over a decade. Come on, Arsenal!
Well, like all his team, he knows that this could well be the day. If they win, they're champions. Watch it with us, and it's live.
18 minutes in, still 0-0. We started the game off bright, but don't forget we need to win this game. A draw won't be enough. There's no doubt Manchester United will win on the final day, which means we need to win too to win the Premier League title for the first time in 14 years. Here's Danilo Pereira sliding it into Granit Xhaka. Xhaka to Aubameyang. Lovely first touch. Couldn't get a shot away, but Ramsey can. And the shot takes a deflection. And Arsenal have the breakthrough. They must win today to be crowned champions. We're 22 minutes in and we have the breakthrough through Aaron Ramsey. That's why we gave him a contract extension. And the fans are glad he stayed. Xhaka to Aubameyang, brilliant tackle, but Ramsey's shot deflects off the backside of Schindler, wrong foots Lussell, and goes into the back of the net. Arsenal lead on the final day, where we must win to win the title. The dream start for the Gunners. We've been absolutely brilliant defensively in this first half. Yes, the goal came through a slice of luck, but Huddersfield can't break us down. Our defence has been absolutely watertight and brilliant, and you know, if we end up with this game, and win it with a clean sheet as well, we will end up with the best defensive record Arsenal have ever had in the Premier League since guess when? Their title-winning season in 2003-2004. I said defence wins championships, that's the phrase, and that's the case this season. If we can hold on to the title, Lussell makes the save on Aubameyang, and that would have been 2, and that would have all but secured it, surely. Don't get me wrong, there's still a second half to come, and you can't rule Huddersfield Town out, but to be honest, our defence has been that good. I can't see us conceding in this game at all, because we've shut the door on the Terriers. We know what's at stake. We spend an awful lot of money improving this back line and making it perhaps the best it's ever been, and let's just say we're getting what we paid for, and it's paying off. We still lead by 1, 50 minutes to go, and as things stand, the title is going to be ours. Pereira the interception, Ramsey through to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang on the turn keeps hold of it, finds Pereira. Pereira looking for Ozil, back into Pereira, golden chance here for a second. Aubameyang is there, Lussell makes the save. We are waiting for the finals to come any second now, and there it is, it's all over. Arsenal are Premier League champions once again.
This effort.
Well, it's a moment they will never forget. It's a long old season, isn't it, as we know, and to come out on top at the end really does taste sweet.
And it's not just the celebrations today, they will get the trophy here. No more home games to come. So medals are on the horizon. Real togetherness. It's been a key feature of how they've become champions.
Yeah, and they have been the most consistent side, there's no argument about that. They say the table never lies, and it certainly hasn't in this instance.
Well, through all different kinds of weather in this country, against all competitive opposition, you don't get this cheaply. It's a moment of true jubilation for the champions. Plenty of supporters have made the journey here, hoping to witness these scenes, which they will remember, players and fans, for the rest of their lives.
There's a real togetherness within this squad, isn't there? You can see that now, but it's been there in some tough times during the course of the season when they have had to stick together.
It's a party they never want to end. They have provided the fireworks. Their football has been a joy to watch for most of the time. Some difficult moments, but they solve their problems, and they have silverware to show for it.
It was only right that the Premier League season would be decided on the final day. It was such a close title race from start to finish. Manchester United ran us every single step of the way, but Arsenal, crowned champions for the first time in 14 years, sees our season end in the ultimate success. And it's fitting as well that we had the best defensive record in the division. Just 26 goals conceded, the best defensive record we've had since our last Premier League win. I said defense wins championships, and it certainly did this season. The Gunners back on top, Kings of England for the first time in over a decade, and whilst we may not have got the job done in the domestic cups and in the Europa League as well, I'm sure the fans will be delighted for their first Premier League win in well over a decade. Arsenal, Kings of England and Premier League champions once again, and what a fantastic way to end the season. But that will end this full career mode story as well, guys, so a massive thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy this full career mode story of Arsenal, then please do drop a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated, and you'll help the channel out as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and if you watched the whole video, comment down below, defense wins championships, so I know just how many of you guys watched to the very end. Thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I'll see you for the next full career mode story very soon.